In a fun junk journal dream, DJ's crafting grungy scenes. Hither and yon, where friends all meet. Paper glue and vintage treats.
Alright guys, in the studio today we're going from these super boring cereal and macaroni boxes to this super fun and functional ephemera holder. So if you've been looking for some storage for the craft room that's pretty practical and fun to make, then join me in the studio today and we're going to make this fun little box out of cereal boxes and your favorite paper. So I hope to see you there. Let's get to make it. All right, my crafty friends, we're on the desk. Welcome to the studio. If you're new here, my name is DJ and this is Hither and Yon Studio and I craft with paper. So as promised in the opening there, we're gonna make a fun ephemera holder out of our cereal and macaroni boxes and whatever kind of cardboard boxes you can find. I actually made a few of these, so I scoured through all of my supplies. So I found like a pizza box, a beverage box. I found some of these. I had anything I could get my hands on, basically. That was the same weight, basically. And then I also had some chipboard that I used to fill in. But anyway, the idea came because I have all of these like pre-made items that I keep in these dividers, but I'm going to be making a lot more, so I need a lot more storage. And I have a couple of these, but some I'm using for other things, and I got these on scrapbook.com, and these are just basically some kind of cardboard with paper wrapped around them. And I said, well, I've got cardboard, I've got paper, I can make my own. It's not going to look exactly the same, though. I could make this, and I might be making this in an upcoming make, but it will serve the purpose, and we'll make a couple to stand next to each other. So that's what we're going to do today. If you're interested in stuff like that, stick around. And if you're new here, you may want to consider subscribing after you watch the video. All right, guys, let's clear this stuff off. And I'll give you some measurements. And you can kind of, you know, use what you want. For this one, and some idea of what we used, for this one here, I just used some wrapping paper that I had. So this came from Amazon, and if I can find the link, I will put it down below in the description box. But some lessons learned in building these, and this is just like a little vellum flop over that I thought would be cool to add some extra storage on both sides. So what I did was I just took some vellum, folded it up, obviously, put a little notch in it, sewed it, did that to two of them, and then I sewed them on a strip of this Tim Holtz. It was just a cutoff, so I just put that on here, and I figured this would add some extra storage. So just a little quick idea that you might want to use. But I did find by using this wrapping paper, it wasn't really the best paper to use for this because I think it's a little too thin. But if that's all you have, use it. I mean, look, you can't, what can you say, right? And also, I just used a single piece of the cereal box. So this is just a single piece thick, and what we're gonna do now is I'm gonna double these up. So I'll show you what I mean when we get to the make. But look, I mean, this is kind of cool, right? Yeah, so I mean, this is nothing to sneeze at, guys, and it works really well. It's very sturdy, it's not gonna fall over, and it's big enough to hold quite a bit of stuff. And you can even put, you know, like dividers in it, which I think we might attempt today. We'll see how much time we have. But you could just put some dividers in here as well. I think something that's removable might be best. So you could even just, you know, kind of wing it. So anyway, we're going to make a couple of sizes, but I would not recommend the wrapping paper This is very, very thin, and as you can see, it's wrapping paper. So you can imagine how thin it is. And I just, but it is gorgeous, and it does match my theme. Like a lot of the boxes and stuff I have are wildflowers and bees and butterflies, so that's why I have it. I actually used it to make backgrounds on some of the labels that I have here. Excuse my crappy handwriting, but these are my Tim Holtz scraps, and I'm going to be using Tim Holtz papers today, which is part of what I'm talking about. I think a heavier weight paper will be better, even if it's just like a traditional cardstock. I think these are just slightly, maybe they're about the same as a lightweight cardstock. So these are the backdrops from Tim Holtz. So I grabbed a bunch of these because I want to make mine in a Tim Holtz style. So that's why I also grabbed my scraps. And yeah, I think it'll be fun. I have my mat out because I am going to be using my box cutter / trimmer for this. I think it'll just be easier to cut around some of the papers than using these, though we will be using these. I have my 3-in-1 or Fabrifix. So this is my Fabrifix glue from Beacon, and all of the things that I use are down in the description box below. So if you are interested in getting any of the products that you see, you can go down. I wanted to add some more to this, so let's see if it's going to let me do it this way. I think I might have the seal on it this way. Let's see. Just wanted to fill it up a little. I was actually using quite a bit. Okay, I filled that up. So I put it in this Sugar Bell icing bottle. You can also get these on Amazon or in the baking sections of the craft store. And this bottle is just easier to squeeze, so that's why I use it. And this is just a knitting needle topper on top, keeping it closed. Thank you to my subscribers for suggesting both of these items. So anyway, we'll be using the Fabrifix and probably my paper trimmer. And I have a bone folder here, kind of to smush stuff, as well as my spackle knife. My favorite tools. By the way, if you haven't seen my favorite tools video from the end of 2024, I'll link it here. There's a card that you can click on, or it'll be in the description box so you can watch the video and then go watch it after. All right, guys, let's get to making. We'll make the bigger one first. So I'm just gonna lay the pieces out, and then you guys can take a screenshot if you'd like. This one goes here, this one goes here, and then I'll just speak the measurements as well. So this is equivalent, except for a 1/4 inch. So I went 7 1/4 on this one, but the pieces I had left would not allow me to do that. So that's why we're at 7. So we need a back and a bottom, both at 7 inches by 5 inches. So back and bottom. And then we need a right and left side, and they are going to be 5 by 5 by 2. And what I did for these, I'll just grab a scrap here, was I cut them at 5 by 5. So I made a square 5 by 5. And then I just came in and I measured up 2 inches. Okay. And then I cut a line from, where's my ruler? I just saw it. Okay. So I just marked up 2 inches on the one side, because that's the width of the front is 2 inches. If you're doing a different size, obviously you're gonna mark up to that. But then I just drew from the corner, because we need one side to be the full 5 inches. And I drew a line, and then I just trimmed that out like that. Okay, and so that gave me these side pieces. So just a square, and then cut that off from the 2 inch mark. Okay, and then so we have one for the left and the right, and then we have a front that is 7 by 2. Now, if you have limited supplies, you can make these smaller, and we will make some smaller ones, but I just wanted to give you the dimensions. And then what I meant by doubling these up is I'm just going to take one from the smaller size. is I cut 2 of every piece, and then I glued them together on the printed side like that. Okay, so that made these a little sturdier, and I think that'll be better. This was just a single piece like this. And so it's a little more flexible. Flimsy is another word that comes to mind. So yeah, so I thought it would be better to make these a little more sturdy. So that's what I did. I doubled these all up, and I feel like it's a lot more sturdy. The other thing that I learned doing this that I'll share with you is that originally I went in and I did a lot of extra work, which you don't need to do. Let me see if I can find one. So I went and on the shiny written side, I glued down a bunch of book page thinking that it would make it better and make these pieces all stick to the paper. You know, unnecessary. I also ended up, like, I was sanding down this shine before I was gluing them together. Not necessary at all. They hold up perfectly fine. I didn't sand these at all. The Fabrifix holds it really tight, so I wouldn't even worry about that. Just save yourself some time. Yeah, but so those are the lessons learned. And now we're going to put our box together. And with this one, I ended up using strips of the wrapping paper, but this time I think what I'm going to do is use some washi, because I'm using the Tim Holtz papers, and I just think the washi tape might be a little more stable than paper. That's just my humble opinion. I was thinking I would use the fabric tape, the Tim Holtz fabric tape, but I wanted to make this accessible to anybody, so any washi tape will do. I'm going to use Tim Holtz washi tape because I have Tim Holtz paper, but again, any paper will do. If you don't have any, like, you know, printed paper, just use paper bags, like paper grocery bags, and you can stamp all over it, or you can paint it. Up to you. I think that's a great option too. You could even paint it just from this state. So if you have some acrylic paints or something, you could do something like that. Just some options. But yeah, we're going to assemble this. So let me get some washi tape, and I am going to glue the washi tape down. So it's not going to just be the washi tape. And I found that doing the back to the bottom and then doing the sides and then doing the front worked. So that's what we're going to do. Okay, so I just said I was going to do the back to the bottom, and now I'm not. All right, let's get moving here, guys. Maybe I'll go with the wider tape. That might be better. So this washi is 3/4. That might be the better option. And okay, so you're gonna have to go there because I didn't make it long enough. And I think this is from Memoranda. I don't know what the release is for these guys, but if you just look up Tim Holtz washi, you'll find some. Did you guys hear Tim Holtz's announcement that he's no longer going to be doing some product development? I was excited because now I think we'll get more of Tim doing Tim creations, which is really super awesome. So I'm thrilled. I don't know how you guys feel about it or if you even heard about it, but anyway, let's put these off to the side. And yeah, we're gonna put some glue on. We're gonna glue down the washi. So come on, let go. Let go of me. All right, I am going to put the Fabrifix here, about half of what that is. Yeah, I don't know why I turned the washi upside down. You don't have to do that. And then this is the bottom. So this will be a little bit longer video, guys, but you can skip ahead. You know the deal, right? You can watch it on 2x speed if you want. But I always like to watch it on single speed, and it gives the creator, me, or whoever I'm watching, a the watch hours. So if you can watch it on single speed, that's better for us creators, but I get it. Everybody's busy. We got things to do. All right, and then I just want to make sure that I can turn it up, so I'm giving myself a little space there while the glue is still wet. And that's the good thing about the Fabrifix, is that it gives you some wiggle room, so you have some time to make sure it's glued in place. And I need my gluey scissors. Actually, I can just use this. Just to cut off the excess. All right, so our back and our bottom. All right, and now I'm gonna put on my left and right side, and those are going to the back. Even though I laid them out that way, they're actually gonna go to the back piece. So we'll do this side first. And again, if you don't have washi, you can just use paper bag. I wouldn't recommend using wrapping paper, but if that's all you have, it works. It works. I proved that it works, so you can use it. It's just I don't think it's going to be long lasting. That's all. But hey, we're always getting new macaroni boxes and cereal boxes, and this is a fun make, so they don't have to last forever. Plus you can change up, you know, to freshen up your craft room if you want. All right, so that is our side there. Woo! Hello. You want to keep them fairly straight. You want everything to line up. And then we're going to do the same thing over here. You know, and you can keep a wipe nearby or something, because you're gonna get the glue everywhere. It's the nature of the product. Let me actually make this a little straighter. That wasn't much straighter, was it? Okay. There we go. All right. We're wiggling about, so let me flip this over. This glue dries fairly fast enough that we can kind of keep assembling, so, but if you want to let your pieces dry in between, go for it. All right, let me trim off this extra washi. Where's everybody tuning in from? Drop me a comment and let me know if you're new here, where you're tuning in from, what your name is, and tell me some fun fact about yourself. Oh, I missed some over here. Right, like so. And now I'm going to put the front on. Same thing. Let's use I don't know. Let's use some of this map. Just a hair of this is going to show through anyway, so, you know, it doesn't matter what you're using. Like I said, you can use paper bags. I think brown paper bags, that like grocery bags, not gift bags so much, but maybe some grocery bags would be a good option. And I have a ton of washi, so might as well use it. All right. And I keep the spare pieces of this washi around on the edge of my desk because when I'm decorating tags and journal cards and stuff, it's just fun to grab a little piece and stick it on there to kind of dress it up. All right, so we've got that assembled. Now I'm gonna do the sides from the other side. So it gets a little more fiddly as you go, but it's nothing we can't handle, right? Just have fun with it. So in this case, let's see. I think it might be better to put it on the side and then pick up the side. So I am gonna glue. So I'm gonna glue here and here. I'm gonna go all the way to the edge there. We wanna make sure that we get our washi tape all the way down. We will be covering it up with some paper, so it's pretty much going to be stuck down. I'm not really worried so much about that. I am going to clip it even. So I just cut it like that. And I'm going to put this piece on first. Well, we'll just leave that like that for now. I'm gonna flip this over. And then I want to pull the washi tape up. So, I'm just cutting it there where I'm gonna have to pull it up. My handy spatula will help. Use a ruler or maybe a bone folder. And then I'm just gonna flip this over and cut this little piece off. So there's that. You can use a gluey eraser too. You know, those erasers that pull up the glue. This Fabrifix just kind of rolls off. I'm never really worried about it. Now the other thing you can do if you want, if it's easier for you, I'm not gonna do it this way because that's just the way I work, is you can cover these or adorn them in any fashion that you wish before you assemble them. So you can cut them out of your macaroni or cereal box and then you can paint them or color them or put paper on them. And then use the assembly process as a decorative element. Decorative? What? A decorative element. That was funny. You know, to kind of just edge your pages. So you can do all the decorating first if that's easier for you. I'm going to put my paper on. I know the dimensions that I need, so that's just how I'm going to do it. But hey, you do you. You do you. All right, so I'm finding that just making these uneven size at this point is probably better. Of course, something has to jump right down while I'm trying to do that. Okay, let me put some glue down. Again, we're doing this and the bottom. And you don't need a lot of glue. This Fabrifix holds really tight, so. I'm going opposites of the way I just did it, but you can just put the bottom on first like I did on the last one. Looks like I'm still gonna have to cut some off anyway. Yeah, overall, just better to put the bottom on first and then flip it up. I'm still learning too, guys. I didn't make a ton of these, so we'll after you make a bunch, I'm sure we'll all be professionals. We'll be professional box makers, among other things, right? Ooh, you stay there. Okay. All right, so it's coming together. How fun, right? Oh, actually, I need these sides. All right, so now we already did the front, so we're just gonna up there. All right. And we will just do our sides. To our front. Like so. Perfect time of year to add some organizational space to your craft room. We're always looking to start fresh in the new year, right? Right? I am. That's my personality. I like to clean things up, get things organized, set myself up for the year. I'm just gonna leave that for now so it can dry. Let me know, are you that way? Do you like to get a little more organized at the beginning of the year? Or you just kind of winging it, which I've also done. But we always need a storage solution, right? And sometimes we don't have to pay big bucks just to, you know, we have all this junk we're collecting, hoarding in some cases. So let's use our stuff. Just one more way to use it. All right, if you're not doing any decorating, you're done. You could reinforce it here with some more washi if you wanted to, but because I'm going to be putting paper in there, I don't think it's necessary. And again, if you're painting it or something and not putting paper on it, then I would maybe put a little gesso. This is pretty absorbent, so the gesso may just help you not have to put a bunch of layers, but it you'd be done at this point. You could just paint it up, and even spray painting it, I think you could, you know, just kind of do the inside and then flip it and do the outside. Up to you. So many things you could do. And again, you could decorate it ahead and then assemble it. So whatever floats your boat. Yeah, I need a different pair of scissors. Here we go. And I just want to go up on the angle. Put these over here. All right, so that's that. All right, now, while that's drying, I am going to cut some papers and see what we have by way of scraps. I'll put my washi over here for now. I don't need that out while I'm doing this. I'm pretty much going to measure the same sizes, and I am going to put a bottom on it, even though you're probably never going to see it, but that's okay. I'm just going to cut the same size pages that I did for the box itself. And then when we get to the inside, just because some things are a little, you know, I've taken away probably like 1/8 of an inch or less than that, maybe a 1/16. We might just have to trim it a little, but you know, we'll get there when we get there. I thought this would be cool for the front here. So I think I'll do this one in the 2x7. I can pull out my trimmer for these now. Let's go this way. Which one do I want? Do I want in cash or $1,000? I think I'll do in cash, and then I can use this on something else. And we'll go to 7. Okay, and that can go with my scraps. All right, and I do already feel that it needs to be trimmed a little, so I'm just going to take a hair off, and you'll have to do that as you go. It's not something I can really, you know, explain the measurement for, because it's the tiniest little bit. Okay, like that. All right, so we have that. This one, let me see what I have in scraps too, because I have some bigger scraps that might actually work here. Why not use the scraps first, right? Ooh, that's so pretty. Oh, too bad that's not good for the back. We'll save that for another project. Okay, is this at least 5x5? Why did I put my mat on upside down? Yes, okay, so we'll use this for the side, and I'm guessing that will also work for the side. So let's start there. 5x5, and then I'll cut. I'm just gonna do it just under 5. And that'll make a cool piece to use somewhere else too. And then we'll cut this way. No, this way. Again, I'm going just under, because I know that I have like a, you know, a little bit there that is probably raised up, or I don't know. I just don't want to go all the way to the edge. Before I glue anything on though, I am probably going to ink around that and ink around all these pages. So just fair warning. Okay, so from this, I'm going to put this on the other side, or one of the other sides. So I will also cut this. Yeah, a little bit under 5, just a hair. It's not even a 1/16 of an inch. And then I want this vine, so. All right, and then keep in mind when you're cutting your papers, like where they're gonna go. If it's gonna go on the inside, just make sure that you're putting your angle in the right spot. So I think I want this one on the outside here. And then I think I want that one on the outside of the other one. So I just have to make sure that when I'm cutting these, I have them facing in the right direction so that my angle is the same. So now I'm just going to take these off and put them together, and I know that my angle has to go this way. So I'm just going to measure up the 2 inches. I'm going to mark it here, and then I'm going to use my trimmer, keeping everything held together. I'm going to put the corner here on my trim line. And then I'm going to put this mark that I made at 2 inches on the trim line as well. Okay. Just maneuver it till you get it where you got it, where you want it to go. There we go. Save these always. We save our Tim Holtz scraps. So this one's going to go here, and this one will go here. Okay. I'm going to finish cutting out the rest of the pieces, but you guys kind of get the idea. I'm going to do one for the inside and one for the outside. So if this was my inside, it would go that way. You get the idea. I'm going to do all the rest, and then I'm going to ink them up, and I will be back with you guys. Okay, everything is inked. I inked around these edges, and then I started to do the inside, and I'm like, you know what? I don't need to do that. So I decided I'm not going to continue to do that because most of the paper will cover that up, and whatever little bit is seen, it doesn't matter because, yeah, it just doesn't matter. All right, so now it's just really about gluing everything in place and doing a little decorating, right? So I am going to continue to use my Fabrifix. I'm going to glue in all the pieces that I have. So I have an inside and an outside for every side on this. And I'm just going to speed up the video. Okay, guys, I'm going to do the sides on all the way around and then the bottom. And then I'm going to do all the outsides and the underneath. All right, I'll see you on the other side.
In a fun junk journal dream, DJ's crafting grungy scenes. Hither and Yon, where friends all meet. Paper glue and vintage treats. Ink stained hands and scraps galore. Meeting friends as we explore. A community so warm and true. Creating together something new. Together we create, finding calm as we decorate, building bonds our hearts elate in this happy crafting state.
All right, guys, we're on the last piece, and just some tips, like when you're putting, I'll show you in a sec. Let me just get some glue on here. All right, I'm trying to get a good amount of glue, and I don't want it too close to the edge because when I use the spackle knife, it kind of presses it out, and I already have enough stuff on my fingers. So, all right, this is the bottom. It's not a big deal. It's gonna stay. All right, so as I am pushing this down with my spackle knife, I am supporting it on the other side. I mean, this isn't like, you know, we're not working with cement or, you know, a super sturdy structure, though I have to say, like, this one is way more sturdy than the first one I made. So I am thrilled. This is going to be my process. But when I was like doing the sides here, you saw me kind of doing this. I was definitely supporting it with my hand. So there we go. Now, something I thought would be cool is if I cut another piece of this, I could put it inside, or you could use, you know, an index card or anything that, you know, would be flexible. So if you cut another one of these at the 5x7 and cut it off at the 2, you could kind of rest it in between and let your items kind of support it. So if you had some of these here, and then you had something that was thinner. Do I have anything thinner? Of course. Come on, something super thin. No? Yeah, like this. So if you had something thinner, you could kind of just let it be self-supporting, and then you would have some wiggle room. So just something you could do there. You could also use a piece of your ephemera. It doesn't really matter. You could put something that's more permanent inside there, or you could build one of these that's just smaller and kind of stick it inside of there. Now, as far as decorating, I thought what would be fun with this one is rather than decorate it now, whenever I do a project, I always have like a lot of scraps on my desk. So I always have, you know, whatever I have. And I thought I could just kind of decorate it as I'm putting ephemera in it and use up the scraps that I have on my desk already to kind of you know, make it beautiful as I go. So I'm gonna leave it just like this. That's my finished project. On this one, I put some lace here that I thought would be pretty, some cotton lace all the way around, so that made this very pretty. I like the way that came out, so you could definitely do something like that. I'm actually thinking I'm gonna put this one over here because I just love that this is Tim Holtz fabric too. I love that. Okay, so if you want to stick around, I'm gonna do some smaller ones, up to you. You kind of see the process now, and with a little math you can just kind of make it your own. So I'm gonna do a 3 by 2, and then I'm gonna do a 4.5 by 4.5, so more of a square. And then I thought I could just kind of sit them together on my shelf. And the great thing with these is you could customize them to fit whatever space you need them in, right? So I'm gonna jump into making a couple of these in a smaller size if you want to stick around and watch and use up the rest of my scraps, but that is up to you guys. I gotta glue this one down because this was the one I wanted to kind of demonstrate to you guys what I was doing there with putting them together. All right, and maybe with these what I'll do, no, I'm just gonna do them the same way I did them. I was thinking maybe I'd decorate them first, but you know what? I'm just gonna do them the way that I did them, and I'm gonna use up my Tim Holtz scraps, and I'm gonna use the washi. I do like the way that the washi is holding up, so for me, that's this is extremely sturdy. The Tim Holtz paper or any kind of heavyweight paper is going to make it a lot more sturdy, so go for it. Actually, let me... Gonna glue these two together first, so... Now these are the sizes for this. You know what, I didn't let you take a screenshot, sorry. If you want to take a screenshot, this is going to be the next one we're doing. And so I'm just going to glue the back to the bottom, same as we did before. Minus the gray hair. I'm always ditching my baby wipe. All right, I need that. All right, so this is this piece. Use whatever method you need to get your washi tape off of there, or whatever you're using. Paper bags would work really good. You can cut them into like 1-inch strips, and then it'd be really secure. Like, why are you being like this now? Come on. The other one went so smooth. Oh my goodness. Well, thank goodness we're putting paper over it. They were too far apart. That was my problem. Okay. All right, so that's our bottom and back. And now I'm going to attach the sides. I'm not leaving it like this. I'm just gonna cut cut it before I glue it, maybe that'll be a better solution. I love that you can make these however you need them to fit in your craft room, whatever space you have. And we're saving money because the only thing that we're really using here is cereal boxes and macaroni boxes, and you know, just any kind of cardboard we have left over that's the same strength. And it's not going into a landfill. We burn ours, but I know some people throw them away. Some people recycle them. But what a better way to make use of them. I love this idea. I am so thrilled. And you can make so many. So now I know everybody will be going and grabbing and begging their neighbors for their leftover cereal boxes. So that's fun. It's fun. I love green crafting. I think it is just a fun way to stop the waste. There's so many good things about this. Yeah. So tell me in the comments if you're going to make some of these, or any other ideas you have. I think you guys are just filled with so much information. You're always helping me out, so do tell me what you think here, and if you're gonna make some of these. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up if you like this video. You know, it helps. It really does help the algorithm, and you know, it helps other people to find the video, and we can all use some great ideas for craft room storage, especially this time of year. Okay, so those are done. I have washi tape everywhere. All right, and so now we have to do the front. It has been frigid here in New York. We have had close to 0 in the teens, and the wind has been crazy. It has just been crazy. So I'm looking forward to spring. I'm really looking forward to spring. But I feel better, so that is a plus. I'm feeling much better now. I was so sick for like 3 weeks. It was so much. I was starting to get better, and then I got sick again. This never happened to me in my life. I guess my body is just doing what it needs to do. I don't know, but I am well, because if I wasn't well, my body would not heal itself, right? So I heard somebody say that we shouldn't tell ourselves that we're sick. We should tell ourselves that we're well, and that's the reason we're healing. And I think that's a great idea. So that's what I'm gonna work with. Okay, so now we just gotta do, isn't that gonna be a fun one? So I'll assemble this one, I'll assemble the other one, and then we'll do some decorating. But how quick do they go together? I mean, the cutting really is what took me the longest. Just cutting out all the pieces. And, well, you know, I had to engineer them, so it was, well, you know, what piece would work, what should I use? So that took a bit of time. You know, just kind of figuring out what I was gonna do. But once you have the measurements, it pretty much goes quick. All right, why are you giving me a hard time. Okay. I'm going to do the bottom first because I did find that that works better. So, and again, if you're going to ink your edges, you could do it ahead of time before you do all of the assembly. It's a really great little project. I always need storage, you know? Always, especially when I'm mass making ephemera. I just run out of places to put it. So I have some stored in these like random plastic containers, but these I can make to size and really make them my own, which I love. I think that's the best part, is I can decorate them the way I want. The ones that I got from scrapbook.com are cool, and they work, but they're like just like a basic white. They're just boring. They're boring. So these I get to make my own, which I love. All right, next. You know what? I know it's 4.5, so I'm just gonna, why am I torturing myself? Here we go. We're learning as we go. See? So now I folded my washi corner over onto itself. Of course, it doesn't stick to anything until you don't want it to stick to anything, and then it sticks to itself. All right, bottom first. I think this is like the memorandum tape. Gosh, I wish they would come back with that 12 by 12 paper pad. If they re-release that, I'm gonna be buying like so much of it. It is my favorite paper. But if you guys miss the memorandum, I do have to say that Tracy Fox Loves Junk Journals, I think is what it is, on Etsy, has Compendium, which is quite comparable to, she has a few different versions. The paper is gorgeous, and it very much reminds me of Memorandum. So, just an idea there. She is on Etsy. Tracy Fox Love Junk Journals. Okay, so that's together, and now we just need the pieces for the top. This is the front, rather. The front! The front. Oh, 2 and 2. Yeah, I like this. I like this better. Less fighting with the washi tape. I am going to be picking glue off of my hands for a week. And I'm going to be smiling the whole time, thinking about what I made. All right. So that's that one. Now we'll move on to our last one. And then I'll decorate and I'll put up a photo here at the end of this video to kind of show you how everything looked. Let's do our last one. I'll lay it out so you can see the dimensions. And really the only reason this one you can see I'm using like they're not the same color or anything, and so I went with what I could so that I could use up my scraps. So this one is going to be a 3 by 4.5, so it's going to be a lot thinner, but that's good for small thin tags, right? So I can put a bunch of tags in there. So here are those measurements for you to screen grab. All right, and let's assemble this one. All right, so 3, 6, 4, 5, 6. Same way. All right, well, the back and the bottom are the same size, but you get the idea. We'll just do it this way. Perfect. All right, and let's put the front on. I guess it can all, that's fine. I have this piece here, that's why I want to put the front on. So you guys will figure out the way that works best for you, as I am doing as I go. Trying to glue it to my mat. That's not good. Don't do that. All right. All right, and then these will get attached here. So I need 4.5 and 4.5. All right, so 1, 2, 3, 4.5. All right. Yeah, and if you just have chipboard, just use chipboard. Honestly, if all I had was cardstock, I would just double up and triple up my cardstock and use that. That's what I would do if that's all I had. Because once you add some additional paper on the outside, it's going to get really strong. So if all you have is like a paper, just double and triple it up. That's it. That's all. Start where you are. Use what you have. I think it would be fun with master boards too, if you had some master boards. You could, because master boards are a little thicker, you could probably glue a couple of master boards together, and then you wouldn't even have to decorate, like, because the master boards would be the decoration and whatever you tape it together with would be your accent. How fun would that be? All right, so this is going to be this one. So now I need 2 more pieces at 4.5. What do I want to use? I'll use you. Grabbing it, I keep folding it onto itself. NG, come on, don't be silly, washi tape. Wow, it is amazing how well washi tape sticks to itself. Dang. All right, we got it, stay. All right, so here. And here. I love engineering with paper. I think it's one of my favorite things, whether I'm doing it in digital format or cardboard, like live 3D building like this. It's so much fun. All right, let's see if we can avoid folding it on itself. There we go. Honestly, the hardest part of this is just getting your edges aligned tight, you know? Just making sure that everything is close to itself. And finally, this last piece here. 2 and 2. Fabric would work too. That would actually be really cool too. To have either on the outer edges or just cover the whole thing in fabric. How cool would that be? That would be a lot more tedious in my humble opinion. But hey, if that sounds like it's up your alley and you have a lot of fabric, that might be something you want to do. But I wouldn't do the wrapping paper unless that's all you have. If it is all you have, just use it. Use it. But to me, this seems a lot more sturdy when I'm using a heavier weight paper. All right, so that is our set. How fun is that? This one can even, this is what I was talking about earlier. You could make them so that they fit in here and make a modular system. Oh, that would be very cool. You could put something really big in the back here. See how it's just slightly off? You could put really big cards in the back here and then put some smaller ones here and some smaller tags there. Would this one fit in here? Maybe not with paper on it, but yeah, that's actually really cool because this was 5 and this was 4.5. So it kind of fits in there really nicely. So you can kind of engineer it any way you want. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to decorate up the rest of these boxes and I'll come back and I'll show you some pictures at the end. But thanks for playing, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. And if you did, please give it a thumbs up, share it across the internet. And thanks for being here. I really appreciate you playing along with me. I hope you'll make some new fun storage and show it off in the Facebook group if you're in there. It's Hither and Yon Create Space. I'd love to see what you guys are making for your craft room. And I hope to see you in the next video. Have a great rest of your day or night. Bye! Bye-bye. Bye. Here's the pictures.